काम नहीं किया
That was ये अलग है।
अरे
मैं बोला तेरा फोन गया अब तो नहीं मिलेगा। मिल गया हमने ये क्या?
ओके ब्रो
हेलो।
Good morning, everyone.
देखना सीट दी
We'll go a little louder. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Harish, your sergeant at arms for this term, and I take immense pleasure in welcoming you all here to this morning. All of you have made up time for Toastmasters, so welcome once again. I will briefly state the mission of Toastmasters International. So the mission is to provide mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member is given the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster personal growth and development. Toastmasters has 4 core values: excellence, respect, integrity, and service. Before we start the meeting, I'd like to set some ground rules. The first one being, when a speaker is speaking on the stage, please do not engage with a crosstalk. This disrupts the flow of the speaker. The second one being, please do not enter or exit the room when the speaker is speaking. Please use the applause time to enter or exit the room. Third one being, by default, this meeting is being recorded. So if anyone wishes to not be a part of the video, they shall let us know and we'll edit them out. Also, please take 5 seconds to put your phones on silent. The last ground rule is we refrain from talking about sex, politics, religions in a derogatory manner. So once again, all the best and have a great learning, unlearning and relearning experience. Over to the presiding officer, Jul'26.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harish. Very good morning to one and all on 26th July 26. And meeting number 913 at Gurgaon Toastmasters Club. So I am Vishwajit, I am the presiding officer for today. So my role is to preside over the session, and I will start by introducing Toastmasters. So Toastmasters International has been in existence since past more than 100 years. It started in 1924 in California. It was started by a gentleman named Ralph C. Smedley. And the first Toastmaster club opened in 1924 in California called Smedley Chapter 1. Since then, over the past more than 100 years, it has expanded, and there are now more than 14,000 clubs across 150 countries. So Toastmaster is the leader in communication and leadership. And Gurgaon Toastmasters Club was started in 2007. So we also have covered more than about 19 years. So this is meeting number 913, and the structure of a typical Toastmaster goes like this: that we have 3 sections. In first section, there are 4 speakers who give speech on a impromptu speech on a topic defined in the Toastmasters structure in the Toastmaster curriculum. After that, the second section is table topic section, where members as well as guests can participate and give and can speak on an impromptu topic for 1 to 2 minutes. The third section is evaluation section, where various aspects of speaking are evaluated, and it is orchestrated by a general evaluator. We'll proceed to the session, but before that, I would like to have few guest introductions. We'll keep it short. Maybe timer, you can time me, and there is a red flag after 5 minutes. So we'll take some of the guest introductions now, and rest of them we'll take towards the end of the session. We'll start with sir.
Hi everyone, my name is Darshan. I am currently working at you as a product manager and helping to those masters. So I think I was sorted, but now back in town.
I am Neeraj Agarwal. I was part of Toastmasters Club of Baroda. I recently moved back to Gurgaon and looking forward to joining. I'm basically a techie who's right now driven into business development and creative. Also, this is my second meeting here, and if I don't recognize you, it's not my arrogance. It's basically my eyes. My brain and my eyes work at a different level, so sometimes face recognition becomes a problem. So please don't mind that. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Priyash. I'm currently working as a consultant at Close Square. It's a boutique consulting firm. And I wanted to work on my articulation and leadership skills. So that's my
Hello everyone, myself Rakesh Kumar, and this is my second meeting last week also I was there, and I worked as a professional a little bit more, and here just to to improve my leadership skills as well as articulation as the person mentioned, and
Hello everyone, my name is Amit and I am into marketing, working as a freelancer. Previously, I have worked with Accenture, Cognizant and Google, and now I am an astrologer as well. So now as AI is coming, so as a background of my skills and my profession, I am taking astrology ahead and slowly switching from online marketing to astrology. Thank you.
software professional and improve my speaking skills.
Hi everyone, my name is Sumit, and this is my fourth session here. I have previously I mentioned that ChatGPT brought me here, and it is still so. And I work as a media planner in a company called Publicis, which is very senior back. And my agenda for today is to speak, so that people don't think that I come here for free coffee. And yeah.
Welcome, Sumit. You are always welcome to come here for a free coffee.
So looking forward to be a part. The main aim is to join this conference to overcome my stage fright. So as a consultant, you have to be around a lot of people as well as a lot of stages. So I think that is what I will
Hi everyone, my name is Shimantini. It's a Bengali name, so it's a bit of a tongue twister, so you can call me Simi if you can't pronounce Shimantini. I work at Axis Mass Life Insurance. I work in corporate communications team. So a big part of my work is actually communications. But I'm someone who actually struggles with organizing my thoughts on my feet when things are going on at a really high pace. So I thought this class would be a good fit for me. So trying my luck here.
You want to introduce once again?
Oh yes. Hi everyone, I'm Neetu and I'm an airline personnel. So basically Toastmasters as a ground, I entered here to re-polish my public speaking skills, and because there has been a gap wherein I have not really addressed the classroom or starting as a trainer, now work as a deputy general manager. But again, public facing, public speaking took a back seat somewhere, and I'm a people's person. I can't survive without talking to people. So yeah, I think maybe professional polishing with my personal preference of that skill, I'm here to re-polish it. Thank you.
Thank you. So if any guests are yet to introduce, we'll take the introductions towards the end. In the interest of time, and we'll start on the session. I would like to hand over to Tina. You are mistaken, Toastmaster Bhavesh, you are mistaken.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, what topic is. So, yesterday or day before, I had a conversation with Alicia over chat and said, what is the theme of your Sunday's thing? And I said, you're mistaken. She said, I'm very sure that you are teamwork. I said, no, the theme itself is you're mistaken. Considering a few people who know me, what do you think this topic is going to be?
Sorry, following back.
Mind, body, and soul.
Okay, very close, correct. Anyone else? Yeah, it's very close to mind, body, and soul. But I want to keep this interaction. I want to keep it as an interaction rather than me giving all the gyan, which is unnecessary. I would like to have this kind of a conversation with you guys. Let me begin by asking some random person out here. Sir, yourself. How do you describe yourself? How do you introduce yourself?
I generally don't because but if I keep it like very short.
What would you say if I say I introduce myself? And then what do you say about yourself?
I just tell my name, where I'm from. That's it.
Yeah. Satyam.
Same, I think, my name, where I'm from, my hobbies, what kind of things I'm interested in. So, should I need to give out the template or I need to introduce
No, I
myself?
mean, very much clear. It is the template itself is very fundamental. Maybe some people have 2 points, some people have 5 points. It depends on the elaboration, whom you're talking to.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking.
Correct. And so I've over the number of years that I've spoken to a lot of people, and what I've usually come across is, can you sit over there, please? You're not supposed to sit there. Please, can you move over there? Because there's a lot of disturbance otherwise. So I've seen people calling themselves as, I'm an IT consultant, I'm a father, I'm a CEO, I'm a neighbor, I'm a community person, something like that. I'm an introvert, I'm an emotional person, I'm a healer, I'm a healing person, I'm heartbroken, I'm anxious. All of these traits are something that people introduce themselves as. And it is strange that we can actually speak about ourselves in 1,000 different ways. But there is this one particular question. Those of you who keep themselves busy not to engage with this question would not. But otherwise, every person who sits in silence for 2 minutes would have this query that who actually are we? Despite you telling everyone in 1,000 different ways who you are, inside you're asking this question, who am I? And today, my job here is not to give you an answer, but poke a question, or maybe peel the layers of this onion so as to be able to help you find yourself. There are a number of ways people have brought themselves out. They will say their name, they will tell, I'm this body, I am my emotions, I am my limitations, I am my roles and responsibilities that I am pursuing this life. But the underlying theme is we all mistake our experiences as who we are. And we will explore this in much detail as we move forward. Before that, I would like to call the GE today, GE of the session today, Toastmaster Satyam.
So, Toastmasters and guests, good morning.
Good morning.
So, I am going to be the general evaluator in today's meeting. It means that it will be my responsibility to evaluate everything that goes on in this room. From the first person entering into this room to the last person exiting, even though I was not the first person who entered. But, okay. So, of course, I'm not going to be able to do it alone on my own. I have a brilliant team of supplementary evaluators with me. So, I would like to call them on stage one by one. So, firstly, I would like to call the timer, Toastmaster Tanisha. Big round of applause.
Good morning, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Before starting, I'd like to ask you a simple question. Have you ever looked at the clock during exam or during deadlines? We all have. Right? Time is the only resource we get equally, 24 hours a day. So, it's not the time we all have, it's how we utilize it. So today, I will see how much time we all get the fair opportunity. So I have 3 flags, and you can refer all the time slots there. I have written it. So we have 4 slots like icebreaker speech, prepared speech, and evaluation speech and table topic speech. For the icebreaker speech, we have 4 to 6 time. At 4 minutes, I will show you green cards. At 5, I will show you yellow cards. At 6, I will show you red cards. And for the prepared speech, the time allotted is 5 to 7. So, at 5, I will show you green cards. At 6, I will show you yellow cards. At 7, I will show you red. For the table topic, the time allotted is 1 to 2. So, at 1, I will show you at green, 1.5 yellow, and 2 red. Today, the evaluation is silent, so there is no time allotted for them. However, the time allotted for the evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. 2 green cards, 2.5 yellow cards, and 3 red cards. So, let's do.
To add on to what Tanisha has said, apart from the allotted time, there is also 30 seconds of grace period before and after the prepared speech and evaluation section. So it's not there in the table top. So let's say for the prepared speech, your allotted time is 5 to 7. You can speak from 4:30 to 7:30, but that includes the grace period as well. And of course, today we are not going to have any evaluation section for the speakers. So auxiliary role players are going to be there, but there is no section for the speakers. So all the evaluators are requested to share their evaluations silently to these respective speakers. Now, coming to the R counter, please welcome Toastmaster Tanika. Big round of applause.
Morning everyone. Have you ever recorded your own voice or attended an interview only to realize how often you say, please? You did? How much often you found?
Well, I started my career from a voice process. So I used to take calls. So I'm still habitual of listening to my particular voice.
So these later filter words quietly creep into a conversation in everyday life. They can make us sound less confident during a job interview, less convincing in a presentation, or even less persuasive in a simple conversation. So that is my role as an R-counter, is to think. Please think me as a mirror of your speech. I will be checking every filler word, whether you are taking extra pauses, not required pauses, any sounds which is not required, and at the end of the meeting, I will share my mind. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon the stage the active listener, Toastmaster Hemal.
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Today I have a privilege of taking the role of active listener, and in this role I'll be doing things like listening actively to the people, and I'll be asking questions at the end of the session. And if I'll define my role, it is not like if I'll be asking questions, I'll be checking your memory. I'll be doing this so that you hear properly. You should be encouraged to listen intently. So that is my role, and I'll be meeting you at the end of the meeting.
To add on to what Toastmaster Hemal said, we are going to have a fun-filled active listener session at the very end, and he'll come back and he'll evaluate how actively you guys were listening. So please be mindful of that. Now, for our next supplementary evaluator, I would like to call upon the stage Toastmaster Anandita.
Good morning, Toastmasters. I'll be acting as the grammarian today. We often say that words have power, but I think it's not just what we say that makes an impact, it's also how we say it. So as today's grammarian, I'll be listening for the language that is clear, expressive, and effective. Along the way, I'll also note any grammatical errors and share a few words or phrases that stood out during the meeting. The word for the day is perception. That means the way we interpret, understand, or see something. And the idiom of the day is take something with a pinch of salt, which means do not accept something as completely true until you have enough evidence.
For example, if someone confidently says, "Trust me, I know exactly what happened," I might still take it with a pinch of salt because perception isn't always reality. At the end of the meeting, I'll come back with my report.
I love your perception while giving out the introduction. Now, also one thing to add on what she said. So, when someone says word of the day, you give a thumbs up. When someone says idiom of the day, you give a replacement. So that's the platform. So that's all from my end. My team will be coming back at the evaluation section with their report. Thank you. Over to the team.
So like I was saying, we mistake our identities with the experiences we had. If somebody has gone through some failure in their lives, now that would have lasted for 30 seconds, maybe an hour or so. But we have been carrying that weight for 30 years. We think that I am a failure. If I was rejected by somebody, I feel I'm unworthy and I cannot fall in love again, or I'm not deserving enough. Let me ask you this question. Obviously, you're not going to share about, if you're anxious or not, but is there some place where you identify yourself as your experience? Can anybody come up with that? Where anything happened to you and now you describe yourself or define yourself as that. One example I'll give you. When I was in my 7th class, I actually failed my class. Today, you see a completely opposite of me because I'm so much into academics and learning and everything. But I failed in my 7th class. And for most part of my life, I used to think that I'm a failure, that I cannot learn things. Possibly because of this, I could have easily cracked IIT. Today, I believe that. But I did not know the back then. Because I used to think that I would not be able to do it. Because that thing, that trauma remained with me, that I'm not maybe intelligent enough. Today is the opposite side. Where I coach people, I train people, people come to me for all sorts of information. But that wasn't there before. Anything anybody wants to share, if not personal, if you don't want to share personal stuff, is there anyone here? Please.
Yeah, so when I was in class 8, I was really into football. I would go up there every morning early to the school so that I can practice. But towards when the zonal games were about to come up, due to some political play, I was thrown out of the team. And the football dream disappeared from my life. And from that moment on, it sort of became part of my personality that whenever I would play a sport, I'm just here to have fun. And I moved on to other sports where I truly enjoy basketball and all, but the disconnect with the football has never been recovered because of the action that was taken by someone else.
Something very similar happened to me. We were playing volleyball and I wasn't much of a sports person, but I was equally interested. I was more into theatre and other comedy stuff and stage performances. There was this one particular teacher, I still remember his name. He said, "What are you doing?" And he shouted at me and he like, "If you don't do this, why are you even here? Why are you in the school if you can't play?" And I was like very young at that time. And that thing, like very close to what you're saying, that trauma has never left me. And today, I don't watch cricket, I don't watch football, I'm not a fan of anything. Possibly because that thing remained with me. When we were kids, we were like absorbing everything that was coming to us. Until today, I thought that I am not a sports person at all. Maybe it is an identity I'm wearing. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, so throughout my entire life, I've been the one who always pushes through the adrenaline and dopamine. So within the group of friends, whenever, whatever group that is, I used to be the one who used to go ahead and do something risky, if let's say there is a risk to it. But in 2015, there was an incident. I had a near-death experience in Rishikesh wherein I was almost about to drown. So that made me develop a fear of water for some time. And not just fear of water, fear of, having the guts to do anything. So that lasted for around 5-6 months before I went again into the same water and, conquered my fear. So yeah, this was.
Brilliant, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I've had a crazy experience. I mean, for me, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. every plan is flopped. Every company that I've worked for shut down. My previous company is the only exception, so now I'm working for my sister with confidence that okay, the jinx is broken. But yeah, I mean, my family business paid.
You want to join this club?
Huh?
You want to join this club?
Yeah, no, jinx is broken. My previous clubs are over like. So my family business went down very badly. I tried my hands at startups. One of my founders got arrested because of the RERA thing. One of my founders died during COVID. And then I figured that probably business is not meant for me. And somewhere in the back of my mind, it's still there. But over a period of time, what I've decided is that just chuck whatever has happened, man. Just take the next right step.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you. Just finish it off. My father was in business. And when I was young, I saw there were struggles in terms of he used to work so hard, but it wasn't like a very, very flourishing. He was doing well, but it wasn't like a flourishing thing. And we used to have talks amongst our parents where money was a big thing. And this remained with me that even today, there is this some little aspect of me that still says that I would not be able to do business. But that is something that was a borrowed identity. That was not me. We will delve more deep into it, and hopefully I'll be able to help you find that this is all that you're wearing. It is not you. And once you find who you are free from all these pains and stresses. We'll continue with this. Let's just invite our first speaker, Toastmaster Hema. But before I call Toastmaster Hema, let me call her evaluation. We don't have evaluation. So a little bit about Toastmaster Hema. She's a learning and development professional and a language trainer. She firmly believes that language learning is a lifelong journey, which is why she currently is on a mission to learn Hindi. And the title of her piece,
Standing ovation.
because of her speech being the icebreaker speech, it is customary that we will, after her speech, we will stand for a few seconds and we'll give her a standing ovation. The speech title is The Making of My Voice, The Making of My Voice.
I'll wait for them to settle down.
You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards, said Steve Jobs in his Stanford commencement speech. Good morning, everyone. I'm Hema Silvakambu. Looking back, I can clearly see the very first dot in my journey. It wasn't a classroom, a stage, or even a degree. It was a doorbell. On one quiet afternoon, an MBA student knocked on our door with a bag full of books as to sell it to us as part of her MBA project. For the next 45 minutes, our living room became her stage. She explained all the books with confidence, answered questions effortlessly, and communicated with utmost clarity. While everyone was so stuck with the books, she fascinated me. When my father asked, how did she manage such a tiring job every day, she replied without hesitation, saying, I know my job and I do it. I communicate that to people very well. And that moment changed my life. It taught me that while knowledge brings credibility, it's communication that really creates the impact. Determined to find my own voice, I went to my class teacher to ask if I could deliver a speech during the school assembly. My teacher, when I handed over my script to my teacher, she took out her very sharpest weapon, which is the red pen. So the first remark was, it's saw, not sought. I used the past tense of see incorrectly. That moment blew me away. Self-doubt drowned out everything I had prepared. I questioned myself with several questions like,
maybe I'm not good enough with the language, maybe I'm not cut out for public speaking, and the worst of all is I simply thought the teacher didn't like me. Today, when I look at this incident, that rejection is actually a redirection, and that criticism was a blessing in disguise. After that incident, I thought I have to strengthen the very foundation that was stained with redding, the English language. I worked tirelessly to learn the language, to improve it, and to refine it, which ultimately took me to the stage of district level championship in spelling bee competition. Years later, at my college, I got my very first opportunity to become the Masters of Ceremony at an international conference. Standing at the stage just like this and hearing my voice echo across the hall was nothing but surreal. As my passion for the language grew, I started watching this YouTube channel called The English Nut, and the dots slowly began connecting. And came another defining opportunity, which till this day I consider it as a crown jewel in my career trajectory, that is to become a TEDx curation committee member. I thought at that time, so I have to probably bring this guy, the English Nut, to our stage, and I succeeded. And as he was speaking on the stage on that day, I clearly saw my dots literally connecting in front of my eyes. Today, with 2 masters and as a Cambridge University certified English language trainer, I not only speak with experience, but with utmost gratitude. Because down the line, I completely believed that knowledge without empathy is definitely an arrogance. The MBA student empowered me while my teacher challenged me with her criticism. Both of them ultimately contributed to the same outcome. When one helped in finding my voice, the other helped in strengthening it. And in the end, they united in the making of my voice. Thank you so much.
Beautiful speech, Emma. Thank you so much. Right. So finding ourselves, a number of times I have spoken to a number of people, and like few of us mentioned that how we describe ourselves is through our names. But name was given to us a few months after we were born. There was something existing before. Can anybody say what that was? The soul. Yeah, but as in like, how do we identify that soul?
Body.
Body. Okay. So one thing is for sure that we are not the names. We existed before the name. So name is something that we wear, like a tag. I'm wearing a Books Brothers shirt. That is how we identify this is the shirt. But otherwise, it's just a shirt. How do we say that what kind of a shirt is it? It's a label that we're wearing. So if I call Satyam, he turns back and he looks at me that I'm calling him. And he has identified himself very closely with Satyam. But how strange is it to know that you are actually not Satyam? And if I call you Raju, you will be exactly the same person. Nothing will change in you. And that's a beautiful part. No, actually this is a beautiful part, right? We have been thinking that this is who I am. I consider myself as Bhavesh all the time. Like, all the time. But that's not me. And that's strange. Imagine the moment you were born, somebody gave you a backpack. And in that backpack, you were supposed to carry all the appreciation that you got, every achievement that you got, every criticism that you heard about yourself, every success, every failure, you're carrying in that bag. Now, some of us, fortunately or unfortunately, the bags are a little heavier than other people. And then we judge these people. Why can't you just move? Why do you procrastinate? Why do you think negative? Because some people have the bags which are a little heavier. But, you stand. If anybody, like I think Jul'26 is carrying a bag, a few more people are carrying a bag. If I ask you to carry this bag, you carry it. And if I ask you to let it down, put it down, you'll be easily able to do it. Would there be anybody who would say that I can't carry this bag, I can't put it back, put it down because I am this bag is me? Nobody would say that. Not one person would say that I can't put it down because this is me. What happens to that invisible bag that we are carrying? If somebody calls you, like I've never heard anybody who would say that I'm carrying anxiousness. They would say I'm anxious. I'm an overthinker. Nobody says I'm carrying overthinking. So everything that you face, like I am that achiever, I am a scholar, I'm a good actor, I speak very well. All of this is something that people have either told you or you've told to yourself. But again, that is not you. That is another layer that I'm peeling off. If that is also not you, sir, you coach a number of people, but that is not you. Now, is it like a little strange to find out, like, if I'm not that, if I'm not Yogesh, and if I'm not coaching these people, who am I? You know, if I'm not the president, if I'm not the project manager, if I'm not Vishwajit, then who am I? It's a strange question that we never ask ourselves, because it's a disturbing question. Because why is it disturbing? Not because of the answer, because answer we cannot find. Let me dwell more into it, but after this, another speech of ours, which is Toastmaster Harish. But before, okay, Toastmaster Harish, just a second. Okay, so let's welcome Toastmaster Harish Balyan. Harish believes that growth happens when we step outside our comfort zone, which is why you'll often find him training, learning and speaking on the stage. Today he will deliver a speech titled Do It Anyway. Please join me in welcoming Harish Balyan.
Here I am once again. So good morning everyone.
Good morning.
I will start by asking a question. How many of you, raise a hand if you have a gym membership that you love in theory but ignore in practice? Many of us. Me too. I used to think I'm lazy, undisciplined, and a complete disappointment to my New Year's resolutions. But today I'm going to tell you why I was wrong and what is it that separates people who do it from people who do not. We're taught that successful people, the ones who get up early, the ones who get everything done, and the ones whose LinkedIn posts make us question our entire existence. They have started loving the discomfort. They are in love with it, and I am not born with that gene. They are born with that green smoothie gene, eat healthy gene, whereas I am born with snooze the alarm button 11 times gene. Then I met someone who completely broke my illusion. A friend of mine, Nana. Nana was one of those people who would do triathlons, who would run marathons and hike treks and whatnot. Then one day I asked her, Nana, do you actually love running? And she looked at me, deadpan, no expressions. No, I hate it. I hate every second of it. I sometimes question my parents' marriage for having me while I'm doing it. And the next logical question, why on earth would you do it then? She said, Harish, I do not want to be someone who only does the easy things. I do not want to be remembered as someone who did only things she liked. And then she gave me a very uncomfortable truth. We, in our heads, we think that people who do it are the people who love it. But that is not the case. So, as I got inspired by Nana, I set up an alarm for 5:30 a.m., bought a new shiny gym shoes, new outfit for the gym. Imagine myself as an Olympic athlete, dressed up, getting up early, doing all the hard things. Then came the D-Day. 5:30 a.m. the alarm rang. And I, half asleep, had a full philosophical debate with myself as to why sleep is more vital to human species than the cardio. And the sleep won and I kept sleeping. Then came day 2. Another excuse. Again, the snooze button won and I again slept. By day 3, I was so motivated that I'd keep my gym clothes next to me. I'd put my shoes and whatnot, have my water, everything ready so that I can get up and hit the gym. And guess what? I used the gym outfit to cover my eyes from the morning light and slept again. But here's where I was going wrong. I was trying to want it and then I'll do it. But that is not how it works. People, we all envy, the disciplined ones, the successful ones, they do not do it because they started wanting it. They do it because they want to do it, because it is the right thing for them to do. So then I stopped wanting it and started doing it. Started pulling myself out like a sack of potatoes and did it anyway. But here's the thing. If there's something I would want you all to walk away with today, is this. People do not want hard things. They will never be comfortable with doing the hard things. It is about being there, being in the field, doing it regardless of what you feel, how you feel. Because when you do it is only when it makes a difference. Thinking of doing it is not doing it. Planning to do it is not doing it. Getting all the prerequisites to doing it is not doing it. Actually being on the field and doing it is doing it. So that's it. Thank you.
Brilliant speech. Thank you so much. Today I learned something amazing, which psychologically I knew, but not like a common day language, that it is actually quite true. I always thought that people who work out, they love working out. But I'm glad that my myth has been broken. Inspires me go back to gym again. Okay, so we have identified that name is not us, experiences are not us. A lot of people have told me that they went through a situation that taught them something like Satyam just mentioned. We went through a situation and we started to believe that this is who we are. Anybody has any example of something like that happening to you, where you went through a situation and you felt, like I mentioned, I failed in a class and I thought I'm not good in academics. Anybody else? Yes, sir. You can.
For a long time I've been convincing myself and not being able to get up, and I'm claustrophobic and I have problem with heights. And then when I started looking back, this claustrophobia came from some imagination that you see on the TV or a movie, that somebody is in a water drain that's blocked. You know how they attack people, or you're in a box and bumped in. So whenever it happens in a lift and once it's switched off, I mean, I was desperate to get the doors open. And till today, I mean, this happened because of a certain incident in my family, but what I still suffer from is a claustrophobia. And this held me back from a lot of things. Ideally, when I go somewhere taking a lift, I would prefer to climb. But I said, okay, let's take a chance. Get in the lift. When you get out, say, thank God. But coming down, I'd always take the steps. It's something that's ingrained.
Yeah.
There must be some way to get out of it. Nonetheless.
Thank you for sharing. I have a similar thought. Claustrophobia, yes. I also have this thing. I've never been to caves, but this is something that I always feel. Whenever I think about it, I start to feel breathlessness for some reason. Maybe past life. I went abroad and I stayed there for 10 years. For whatever reason, maybe life had to taught me, I was all alone for whatever duration I was there. I tried a lot to pally with a lot of people, innocent, nice person, whosoever I could become, I was everything, but I could not find a lot of friends because I was an independent consultant. over a period of time, I started telling people, because I was all by myself, I started telling people that I'm an introvert. And suddenly, this thing, because I was feeling that I'm an introvert, I was behaving like an introvert, and there was a feedback loop coming back to me which said that you are an introvert. And a number of times I repeated it, it felt exactly like that I am an introvert. And I realized over the last few years when I worked on myself, that I'm actually not an introvert. It was that situation that taught me that because I did not have people to interact with, I became silent and I went into solitude, but that was not me. It was a situation that taught me that. Imagine if you're walking through and you come in front of a mirror that is full of dust. Do you wipe your face or do you clean the mirror? The question is rhetorical, the answer is obvious. You will clean the mirror, but we don't do it with ourselves. Somebody criticizes us and we start fixing ourselves. Maybe, maybe you need to work a little bit more. I think you're on heavy side. Your voice is not that good. Maybe you need to work on your communication skills. We work on everything that somebody else tells us. We go through some presentation that went bad, and now we start to believe that I probably might not be able to present well. Somebody says that you were there in front of 10 people. It has happened to me, like I said in the last speech. I think I would have said 3 times in this 2-year span when I went onto the stage and I completely forgot my speech. And after that, there was like this thing, every time I come onto the stage, even till today, I'm working on myself. I feel that I will forget. And because I feel I forget, there is a time, there would be a moment when I'll actually forget. Like I've forgotten now. So the thing is that we tell ourselves from the situation, these situations are like mirrors. If, I don't know, millennials whosoever are there, in our early childhood, we used to go to circuses and museums where there were like distorted mirrors, and we used to walk through them, and the mirrors used to show distorted images of ourselves. And we never thought that we are actually wrong, or maybe we are distorted. We knew the mirror is showing a different version of ourselves. Life is also showing us different expressions of ourselves through these situations. But none of these expressions is us. Again, the question comes is, if I'm not these expressions, whatever I've believed so far about me, then who am I? We will again dive deep further into it. But before that, the next speaker, Toastmaster Priya. Let's welcome Toastmaster Priya. A little bit about Toastmaster Priya, a powerful leader in tech world, a passionate fitness enthusiast, and someone who believes that discipline is the foundation of success. Her speech title is Beyond Appearance. Toastmaster Priya, Beyond Appearance. Toastmaster Priya.
Back in 2010, I got my first placement in Delhi, right after my engineering. Surprisingly, I was not excited about my job or my salary. Rather, I was excited about the historical monuments I have seen in my history book. The Lal Killa, Qutub Minar, and the Taj Mahal. My exposure to real world was not enough. I never crossed my state border. And for the very first time, I traveled 1800 kilometers from my hometown to reach Delhi. On the other side, my parents had a different concern. They were much worried about my safety because their daughter was heading towards the crime capital of the country, as they believed. Thankfully, with the help of one of my seniors, we got a good paying guest accommodation with a little higher price. And everything seems to be settled. Finally, the day arrived, I reached Delhi. I was feeling incredibly proud that I'm standing in the capital of my country. I remember I was thinking that my first impression should be as good as possible. So I weared a neatly ironed salwar kameez and headed towards my PG. The moment I reached there, I thought I came to a wrong place. It was a lavishing villa coming straight out of a Bollywood movie. Well, being surrounded by simple things, looking something like that, was almost unreal to me. But I thought, okay, let's see what happens. Then I looked around and saw a couple of girls. They all were looking movie stars. Beautiful hair, flawless skins, fashionable clothes. Even their slippers were looking expensive. On the other side, me, standing in a corner, wearing a simple salwar kameez and a blue-white bata slipper. Again I thought, as I got the job now, I can buy all these things and one day I can be one of them. Days passed. Every evening, we all gather in the dining hall for the dinner. Because of my office timing, I reached late and there was no empty chair. So every day, the dinner became a standing affair for me. But nobody ever called me, come sit with us. And I never let these things bother me. One day, I got a blank chair. As I walked towards the chair, somebody told me, hey, my friend is coming. You can find another chair, but there was no another chair. That day, I was upset. Not because I lost the chair, but because I felt invisible. I felt rejected, I felt not good enough. I narrated everything to my roommate on that day, and she told me, why you always need a validation from others, why you can't just be yourself. I nodded, but deep down, I was not. Next evening, I made a promise to myself that I am not going to give my chair to anyone. With full of anger and frustration, I was rushing towards the dining hall. But before I could do anything, someone looked at me, smiled at me and said, hey, you can sit here. I smiled too, and my anger dropped just like that. We engaged in discussion, but I was confused. What happened overnight? Am I looking prettier? Or my clothes changed? Nothing. On the same evening, my roommate told me what exactly happened in her daytime. She was explaining to the girls that the new girl in the hostel is a university rank holder, a software engineer, and I recently got a job in a reputed company. While listening to all these things, I was thinking, yesterday they judged my dress, the way I look, and today they are judging my resume. How fascinating human beings are. That day I made a promise to myself that I'm not going to judge anyone by the way they look, what they are wearing, or the brand they are carrying. Rather, I will talk to them, understand their values, their characters, their thoughts, and their kindness. Over the years, my exposure to real world expanded exponentially. As a part of my job, I traveled multiple countries and met with thousands of people with different backgrounds. And one common thing I found on all those accomplished people I have ever met in my life, that's not the expensive clothes or the luxury brands. It was a kind heart and a genuine smile. Because appearance may capture our eyes, but it is kindness that always wins our heart. Thank you.
beautiful this example is. Like simplicity in your words, in the way you present yourself can touch you so deeply. One of the very rare speeches that I would say that resonate with you and you touch most of us deeply. Thank you for sharing this. Amazing. I loved it. So we are not our names, we are not our personalities, we are, then who are we? A lot of people do consider that maybe I'm my emotions. Here in Toastmasters itself, I'm not going to name them. Somebody said, in general, I'm an aggressive person. There's someone else who said, I'm an empathetic person. Someone else who says, I'm very emotional. Someone else said something else, someone else, they said something else. These are the kind of emotions that we entangle ourselves with, our identities with. Now the question that comes is, if I go out right now and look at the sky, would I say the sky is rain today? I would never say that. What I will say is there is rain in the sky. There would be storm, there would be sunshine, but the sky remains the same all throughout. Correct? The drishta that we talk about. There is this one thing that is underlying behind all the ups and downs that you're going through. Right? The sky remains the same before the storm, during the storm, and after the storm. It is happening on top of the storm. All your emotions, when you say that I am anxious, like I said, you are carrying anxiousness. You are not anxious. At the moment, you are anxious. Sometime before, the question that I wanted to ask was, this person who mentioned that I'm an aggressive person, are you aggressive all the time? How do you identify yourself to be an aggressive person? If while sleeping you are aggressive, I could easily believe. Then you can't sleep. If for a person who says I'm an empathetic person, are you empathetic with each individual? No, you're not. Then how come you're saying that I'm an empathetic person? If you're emotional, are you an emotional person with everyone? You're not. You have criteria. This is the person I'm emotional for, and this is the person I don't care about. So we have these things on top of us. We are wearing these emotions. Then if we are not these emotions, then who would we be? Who might we be? Let's go on to the next speech. Toastmaster Yogesh. A little bit about Toastmaster Yogesh is he's the founder of Monarch's Life. He helps under-recognized professionals and founders become impossible to ignore. And let's welcome Toastmaster Yogesh. The world notices, Toastmaster Yogesh, the world notices.
Everyone, you are about to witness something very remarkable, so take a deep breath, and at the count of 3, we are going to do a single clap. Take your breaths, I really mean it. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. I just hit 40,000 followers yesterday. Over 100,000 people watch me every single day. But 45 days ago, no one knew who I was. And it all changed on one random Tuesday that no one knows about. For past 2 years, I was living a good life. Have you ever felt like that your life is perfect on paper, but you keep thinking to yourself, what am I doing? I had that life. My parents would call me, everything is alright, and I'd be like, yes, everything is alright. My juniors will call me, hey, I'm looking for some suggestion, what should I do in marketing? I would be the first person to ask for that. And at a moment, I realized, why don't I feel odd about this? I never wanted to become this. Because I wasn't lying to them. I was lying to myself. Because every day, like we just mentioned, who actually we are. I would go to office, I had this rehearse. I am Yogesh Pandey, I do this. I am Yogesh Pandey, I teach that. I am Yogesh Pandey, I do this in marketing. But at all those times, when I attached my name to that particular thing, I felt like I am introducing someone else. This is not me. This is not what I wanted to do. And I would come back in the evening from the office, imagine there is a mirror right here, and I would look into the mirror and I could not feel myself. I didn't see myself in the mirror, and I did not want that happening. Because I had already experienced something which was far larger. The last year, before starting my corporate journey, I was helping students in the communication, confidence building, like thousands of students I'd worked with. Because of that experience, some people would still come up to me on weekends, like, can you tell me how do I do this? I'm managing my job, but I'll be like, okay, directly, indirectly, I'll help you with this. And over a period of those 2 years in corporate journey, I kept hearing stories. And because of you, my life changed. Because of you, I got a promotion. Because of you, I truly feel myself right now. But I was not feeling like myself. When that happened, with all these memories in me, I was sitting with my friend, we were partying. It was 3 a.m. I was like, I'm too tired. I want to go to sleep. He was like, yeah, let's sit for just few more minutes. With this friend, I was not very close during college time. When I came here to Gurgaon, we became really close. We started hanging out together a lot. And then he said, let's do something interesting. How about we share to each other what was our perception of each other during college time? And I was like, okay. He asked me about his. I gave him a honest feedback which I had. Remember, at this moment, I'm very tired. Only thing I want is to end this conversation and go sleep. At that moment, he said, my perception of you, when I looked at you in the college, I thought if I ever reached my full potential, I'll be like you. I don't know. Sleep? What sleep? I went to the washroom, the same mirror, and for the first time I could see myself truly smiling. Not because someone made a joke, not because I was having fun with someone, but I was truly smiling because I was happy within. But that was still not the turning point. The Tuesday is coming. I made a plan with my friends, okay, we'll go to Hanoi, there's like a trip, we'll enjoy. I was there on the trip, we were clicking a picture of ourselves, my phone is on a tripod right there, a car passes by, due to the shaky behavior that happened, my phone fell down. The phone he's holding right now. The phone for which I saved money for 8 months out of my salary, stock my investment just so that I could buy my phone. Now I'm sitting there on the car hood, acting like everything is normal. My friends are looking at me, we should check it out, and deep inside, I go there, and if you have ever broken your tempered glass, if it breaks a lot, there were a lot of holes in there. You pull it up, you cannot pull it in one go because it is broken, it's sticking to the screen. And I'm just hoping if I pull it out, there should be no crack on there. And those 2 seconds of that pulling of that tempered glass gave me flashbacks of why did I even get this phone. I saved up money, I bought this phone so that I can record content, so that I can put out the advice which really helps people to the world. I made that promise to myself before buying that phone, but what have I been doing for the last 6 months? I've not done anything. Because I kept telling myself, I'll wait for the perfect moment to come. When I have enough savings with me, when I have the perfect opportunity to do it, when I have clients, then I'll start doing something. But while I was pulling that up, I saw a big crack on my phone screen. Big, giant crack right into the center that you cannot even ignore. And at that moment, I realized that crack was not just on the phone. That crack was on the story that I've been telling myself. I got back from the trip, went to the office, I fired up my laptop, and I signed my resignation and sent. Got back to my home. Till this point, I've not told my parents about this because what if they ask, what's your plan? I did not have a plan. I came back, I put on my phone with that cracked screen, I could see it, I recorded a video that I resigned from my job at this 3 a.m. and I'm going to turn my annual income into my monthly income and I'm going to document my journey every single day and let the world know whether I fail or whether I succeed. I put that out, slept. I wake up, 50,000 views on that. Like, okay, maybe we are cooking something. And then I started working for first few days, nothing happened. That was just one gist. I was working on building this business. No meetings, nothing, just working 10 to 12 hours every single day. And suddenly that one view turned into 10, 10 into 1,000, 1,000 into lakhs, and lakhs into millions. And now my calendar is full. I left my 9 to 5, but now I'm working from 9 to 3 a.m. early in the morning, then sleeping, then waking, and repeating every single thing. But now when I talk to my parents, and when they ask, is everything alright? Obviously they're concerned, I'm not making money right now, I'm following a mission. There is a pause when telling them that yeah, everything is alright. But I am not afraid after saying that lie. Those numbers that I have achieved, those numbers are just a part of that recognition. The most important thing that when I see the mirror now, I see Yogesh Pandey. How did this happen? How did the world suddenly notice me? My story has been organically featured in Hindustan Times, India Today, Asianet and all these things. How did the world notice me? Because after so many years, I finally noticed myself. Thank you.
Talk about synchronicity. Priya was also on the similar subject. Yogesh also speaks on the similar subject. And thank you for letting me know. I was also thinking of buying a phone because my phone is bad. So now I'm not going to do it. Let me ask you, anyone, if you want to share, who's your favorite actor? Favorite actor? Sir. Siddharth Malhotra.
SRK.
SRK. Anyone else?
Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Amir Khan. One thing that is great is, like, let's say if I take an example of Shah Rukh Khan, we know we are at the moment we are watching in this whole year. Let's say we'll watch 4 movies of his. In one movie he'll be playing a father. In one movie he'll be playing a villain. Another movie he'll be somebody's father or something. In one movie he'll be an employee. It's just random. Now, do we like the characters that they play, or Shah Rukh Khan himself? Who are we fan of?
For me, I am fan of his, not his
Shah Rukh
characters.
Khan, right? And we can easily, while we are watching all these movies, we can easily see that it is not the roles that they are playing. We are in love with that person behind these roles. How many roles are we playing? Each individual is playing multiple roles. We could be a father, we could be a husband, we could be a wife, we could be a daughter, we could be a student, we could be an employee, we could be someone's friend. There are so many roles that we play. We could be a community member, like this one. And every role demands something else. The kind of person that you are in front of your kids, you're not the same kind of a person in a community. You're playing a different role. Different characteristics come out of you. Each role demands something else from you. But underneath, what happens is, when we entangle ourselves in the roles, I'm a marketing manager. This is who I am. I identify myself as a marketing manager. Tell me one thing, the main cause of stress in today's corporate life. Can a marketing manager, a role, sleep at night at 3 o'clock? They can't. Because the role never sleeps. An individual can sleep. The job is not 9 to 5, maybe 9 to 9 in India. It is not that. You come back home, you're carrying with yourself that role. And what kind of a responsibility is it that I'm also playing a father, I'm also playing a husband, but I'm also playing a marketing manager. All of this is a chaos. But what we forget is there is someone who is playing all these roles. Like a magician pulling out different hats. You are the magician behind all these roles. I would ask you to take a few seconds and think about, strip off all the roles from what you're doing at the moment. Think about it. Who are you then? You're not your name. You're not these roles. Everything that your perspectives, your likes, dislikes, everything is stripped off. Then who are you? And don't give me intellectual answers, sorry. Yes.
Can I suggest one little broader scheme of things? I think in our life or in anything that you evaluate, we have a role and we have a function.
Yes.
And as explained that very neatly by a professor of mine, saying if you take the carburetor in a car, carburetor's role is to mix the air and the fuel and the right proportion inject it for combustion. But the function of the carburetor is to keep the car running smoothly. So if you identify the two, so we have a role, we have a function, and our function is a larger arena. And that is where, all these different topics that you've named, of what our roles are, emotions, everything else, falls into the function that we are in the world. We have responsibility, and we move ahead.
Correct. So I'm functioning in a way, and I'm performing a role. I'm having a performance of being a father. There is a kind of behavior that is required as a father. There is a kind of a behavior that is required to if I want to block my parking. We have different kinds of roles that we are doing, and we have different kind of functionality, like Sir said. But all of this is something that I'm wearing. That if not that, then who am I? I am a mannequin who is wearing all these kinds of attires. If you strip off all these attires, then what am I left with? It's an interesting question if you think about it.
So I mean, if we strip off all the roles that we have, then basically we are just an inert piece of randomly assembled molecule and drifting where the universe blows us.
Thank you. It's actually quite brilliant because it aligns with the next segment of mine. I will come to that. But before that, let's invite Toastmaster Aishwarya. A little bit about Toastmaster Aishwarya. One second. Okay. Her keywords to define her would be of a creator. She loves to create, maybe UX experience to earn living, or paintings or furniture or food or business to enjoy herself. She is also a deep thinker. And the title of her speech is The Purpose of My Life. The Purpose of My Life, Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Today I come before you with a question that has been bothering me for the last 8 years. It is no ordinary question, I must tell you. This question has been puzzling humanity since eternity. Be it the ancient sages of ancient India, be it Socrates from Greece, be it Immanuel Kant from Renaissance, or the modern day thinkers like Naval Ravikant. Everybody has tried to answer this question, but it's still an open-ended question. The question is, what is the purpose of your life? Sometimes I wonder, does a lion sitting after a hearty meal in the grasslands of African savanna look up at the blue sky and think, what is the meaning of my life? Why am I here? Maybe yes, maybe not. Or is the burden of this question only to humans with consciousness? Forget the animals, forget the philosophers, but I think every one of us, every individual has gone through this question. Am I right? Have you all faced this question? What is the purpose of my life? I was struck with this question when I was 25. I was hit by the famous, I think it's more like a Gen Z term now, it's the quarter life crisis. Earlier we used to have midlife crisis, now we also have quarter life crisis. So when I was 25, that's also when scientists say the frontal cortex is completely developed. So I don't know what it was, I was 25 and I felt frozen. I felt I was standing in front of a crossroad where different paths led to different ways of life. And I had to choose what I want to do with my life. I wanted to make a very conscious choice. Should I take the right path, the left path, front, back? I don't know what to do. So I went to my dad. I asked him, Papa, what do you think is the purpose of life? He said, Beta, it's very simple. You work very hard, you be disciplined, you have a good career, you make some money, you provide for your family. And that will give you immense joy. And that is the purpose of life. I was like, okay, that is what I want to do. So I went that part. I also like to collect a lot of quotes. So I was reading a lot of books on this path, collecting quotes. And one quote that resonated with me, I think two of them. One was by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who said, to shine like the sun, you need to burn like the sun. I was like, okay, I will do this. And the second one was, I still remember I had like posters of it made and stuck it to my wall that I need to shine like the sun. And the second one is that it's only under pressure that carbon turns into diamond. But then few months passed away, and then I realized that instead of burning like the sun, I had a burnout. So I was like, this is maybe not the right thing to do. Then I went to my mother. I was like, Mama, what do you think is the purpose of life? She said, to live a very meaningful life, you need to help others. So like, okay, fine, let's do this. Again, did my some reading. Again, collected quotes like I always do. This was Mahatma Gandhi, who said that to find yourself, you need to use yourself to the service of others. Yes, let's do this. I joined an NGO. I was there for 2 years. It's called MAD, Make a Difference, and where we should teach underprivileged kids. I and my mother, we also ran an NGO at home, which was after school tuitions for government school children. Approx 70 kids come into my home every day for free tuition. Unfortunately, during COVID, we had to stop it. But then even this path was not very satisfactory. I, again, being a deep thinker, I had a lot of questions that, am I doing it for someone else? Am I doing it for myself? I'm feeling superior to others. Is it a good feeling? Is it okay to feel superior, or should it be selfless? I don't know. Like, it was very very conflicting in my head that what is meant by service to others, and then let me do more research. So then I went, did a lot of reading, read books, history, geography, science, heard TED Talks. Then I saw biology had an answer to meaning of life. So biology said that humans, you are no special. You are like every other animal on the planet. Big Bang happened, Earth happened, atmosphere happened, it rained, we had water, microorganisms, fishes, then came the amphibians, then came the reptiles and mammals, primates, apes, and you're here. So that is the purpose of your life. You're just here because nature evolved, and there's something special about you. But my friend, he has a different theory. He says that humans were made so that we can make AI. And AI is the ultimate evolution that nature wanted. Let's see how that goes. There's another very interesting theory that came around, which was also inspired by the movie Matrix, which says that Earth is nothing but a big petri dish in a lab. And we're like those bacteria floating in the petri dish. Someone is watching us, seeing how we're reacting, what is happening. There's certain laws that govern us. I don't know if you've heard of fractals. So there are the maths that build the place, the golden ratio. Or then we also have our physics law. We also have our biology laws. We have our chemistry laws. We also have certain laws which I do not know is true or not. But I feel that maybe like law of karma, law of manifestation. Maybe it's part of that whole universe, that whole experiment, that whole algorithm somebody wrote. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. Still confused, still exploring, don't know what is real, what is not. I'm still thinking which is the right path, what should we do. I was just sitting recently on my sofa enjoying a mango. And I was like, wow, I love this fruit. And I wish I could get this fruit all around the year. Why do I have to wait every summer for this fruit? And then there's something stuck. I was like, I felt like Buddha sitting below the banyan tree and just like enlightenment happening. Like an epiphany happened, and I was like, we are nature, mango is nature. Mango comes one season a year. Okay, so mango tree flowers in the spring, gives fruit in the summers, sheds its leaves in the autumn, and takes rest in the winter. Again, spring comes and there's flowering again. So maybe us, like trees, are supposed to go through different phases, different cycles. And every cycle can mean something else. Does not have to be one strong, rigid theory. And we don't have to produce always. There is no rat race. There's no race to win. So I've come up with my own theory. You can agree, disagree. But my theory is life is not a rat race. It's a dance. And we are in this Barati wala dance. Nobody's watching us. You just need to enjoy. You're going forward in the dance. You're going backward, right, left. You're sometimes very fast. Sometimes just dancing slowly, swaying to the music. The whole idea is not to reach anywhere, but it is just to be there and enjoy when the music is on. Thank you.
Special thanks to her. Again, we talk about synchronicity and everything that I'm standing up for. She spoke all of that. Beautiful. Thank you so much. If you want to find yourself, lose yourself. That's the beauty. Satyam, you mentioned something in the last segment. You finished up with something that we are an accumulation of.
Yes. So I mean, if we strip out all the roles and everything, then we are just an inert piece of randomly assembled molecule drifting where the universe blows us.
Beautiful. Now, one thing that is interesting from that is we have understood that we are not our names, we are not our personalities, we are not our behaviors, we are not our likings, we are not our emotions. Then if we are that assembled structure, organization of atoms, that also is changing. In our body at this very time, the moment I started off with this sentence, and by now, around 600 to 700 million cells would have died and new ones would have born. I am in the transition every second, every fraction of a second. I am all the time changing. In 7 years, every cell in my body would be replaced by a new one. And I call myself this body. I am not this body. This body is in transition. Like you said, mangoes come and go, seasons come and go, roles come and go, emotions come and go. The thought that you're having at this point of time, can you guarantee that at 6 o'clock in the evening you'll be thinking the same way? You're not. Some different thoughts would be there. Forget about 6 o'clock. 5 seconds after this, you'll be thinking of something else. The thoughts are also coming and going. Then if you're not the thoughts, if you're not the name, if you're not the body, if you're not the emotions, if you're not the perspectives, if you're not this, that, whatever, then we must be something. Who are we then? The 6-year-old you, the 16-year-old you, and 36-year-old you. The body has completely changed. Your likes and dislikes have been changed. Your relationship with your parents, with your friends, even your friends like whosoever were there in your childhood. Everything has changed. But there is this continuous, constant knowing of this I, that I exist. As long as I am there, that thing has been there all throughout since the time you took birth. Since the time you took birth, there is this thing, one thing that says I am. What is that thing? It's not the body. It's not your feelings. It's nothing. Then who is that? It is not even your stories, because stories were there. Somebody had a traumatic experience in their childhood or their young age. Now it's not there anymore. We are not that story also. We carried some story of it, but we are not that story. So maybe when we want to grow, when we want to be a little wiser, we say that if I want to be a little wiser, let me add some more layers onto me of knowledge, of insights. Maybe, just maybe, it is to remove these layers. Remove the layers of confusion that who am I? The moment you remove these layers and lose your identity, then you might be able to sense who you are. And then comes something that I have not written on this one, and we can talk a little bit more in detail when we are at lunch. When we strip off everything, in fact, when we strip off the person who is thinking about it, the person who is questioning it, that is when we might be able to find it. And that is why it is so difficult for you to find out who am I. Because by the time you get to know who am I, there is no one left to question. You become dissolved into this oneness. And once you are in oneness, there is no individual who's asking this question. Then you just know. You talk about all the saints, all the people who have got this, people who have evolved and got this illumination. If you ask them, so tell me something about like what is it feeling like? They can't tell you because they are not existing anymore. Only that person can tell you. Only if you can somehow bring that reality into small pockets of words. If you do that, you're diminishing. You are actually trying to have the whole ocean into a glass and trying to express that glass that this is what it is. This vessel, it is what it is. You can't do that. So that is a beautiful state if you are in. I think I've somehow over the years, I've come to this point that I don't know and I'm okay with that. Because there is no way I can know. The moment you lose yourself is the moment you find yourself. The question I cannot answer, but I will leave that lingering thought in you. If you get time, if this aligns with you, do think about it for a few seconds or a few minutes after this, that if I'm not all of this, all that rat race, all that positioning that you want, all the cars and all the bungalows that you want, all the travel that you want, all the relationships you want, beyond all of this, there is someone who is that. Thank you very much. Next we have our table topic
Let's
section.
take a break and after that.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break.
Yes, but before I go, I will explain my challenge. So I will give you a topic name, very simple topic name, a one statement, and you will start by narrating to support that statement. And there is a twist. When I say flip, you have to narrate that story in an opposite direction. So, but there is another twist. Don't start a new story. When I say flip, continue with the current story and make it in an opposite direction. So I'll call any member.
Can you give example first?
Example was yes to no simply. This is a good book. And when I say flip, you will say unlucky one, bad one, something like that. So I'll call member. Any member? Sorry.
Son of Dev.
What am I supposed to do?
I will give statements. For you, topic is honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is the best policy.
You will start by narrating to support them, and when I say flip at the middle, you will narrate in a positive. But continue the same story. Don't.
So honesty, what I know from it, it is a very interesting tea brand. I don't know if you've heard of this kind of a tea. It's called Honesty. So it has many different kinds of flavors. But my favorite one is the one which is green tea and with the extract of Earl Grey. So that makes it very honest and very tea-like. The flavor, you know, what out of all the teas, my mom actually made me try this Darjeeling tea. So my mom actually made me try the Darjeeling tea, but then she told me that she is not into tea as much. She likes coffee. And her favorite kind of coffee is the Vietnamese style cold coffee. But then, my father sometimes argues with my mother that we should not be having this much coffee, because every time you're having coffee, you're also intaking so much sugar. Think about the tea aspect of a tea, which is like a green tea or a black tea. But then again, how tasty a coffee can be. The flavor of it, just a whiff. Oh wow, that Vietnamese extracted Robusta bean extract. It's so amazing. And then when you take the sip, it is so creamy and milky. You are bound to get maybe like 500 to 600 calories in your body, but the taste and the experience is just something else. But then I advise you. So just relying on your taste is not going to be good for your health. You have to also take care of your health. So have some tea, not coffee, right?
For you, topic is never judge book by its cover.
You're sitting here possibly judging me by the clothes that I'm wearing. If I were to tell you that these clothes are borrowed, I actually went to my neighbor's house and borrowed his jeans. I normally wear formal pants. Even the shoes are borrowed. Would it make any less of me? Never judge a book by the cover. I was reading a book, and I was reading a book for all the wrong reasons, because it had certain pictures in them, and I would not like to elaborate on the kind of pictures they were. But I was reading, but I was thoroughly disappointed because it turned out to be a physics textbook. Now, reading that physics textbook, I realized that this is not so bad after all. Maybe if I'm reading this book, I'm getting some knowledge about certain things that will help me in a lot of other aspects of my life, which I don't really want to talk about in this case. But then again, the reason I bought that book was because of the cover. And had I not bought the book because of the cover, I wouldn't have understood all these topics of physics that I was actually trying to read about. Books are basically books. Either you just cover them with brown paper and then you don't judge them by the cover and you pick up any random book and read. But what kind of information are you getting out of it? When I am waiting for a clip. So basically, it is not about the book or the cover. It is basically about you. Why would you want to judge a book by the cover when you can actually go to Kindle and flip the cover and start reading the book as it is and get whatever information you get out of it? Information that you can talk about and the information that you cannot really talk about. But books are basically storehouses of knowledge. Even those commando comics that you used to read as a kid about wartime stories, or Asterix and Obelix, and get a fix. The druid that I'm looking for is very good. The druid that actually uses mistletoes and I don't know what all to conjure whatever kind of things. Now that's the kind of information that books give you. Looking at an Asterix cover, do you imagine that you get that kind of information? I think it delivers a lot of information. I don't even know whether I'm speaking for or to or for. It gives you a lot of information. And judging a book by its cover is generally a very bad idea. Because I am generally very, very badly dressed and I would not like to be judged by you based on my cover. Thank you.
Never see front.
ऐसे करते हैं इसका टॉपिक और सिर्फ शर्ट वाला है शर्ट I don't know
Can we come together and flip stories like I'm saying something
How you will relate that story? Now, if you're
see you have to do it like honestly
That is the whole point.
Yes.
That will be a debate then.
I can
Debate then.
अरे वाह एक फन होना चाहिए बोरिंग बोर किया ना मैं मारूंगा तो पकड़ लेगा
Very funny.
gotta be hilarious man
Money can't buy
Okay. So, fellow Toastmasters, it is often said money cannot buy happiness. But have you ever seen a person sitting in a Ferrari crying?
Yes.
I have not seen personally any person sitting in a luxurious bungalow, or it's mostly like how can I make more money, or how can I buy another Lamborghini, or something like that.
Money can't buy happiness. Like personally, I've seen a lot of people crying. Like my founder, he comes in a Ferrari. At every meeting he cries. He's still not very happy with everything going on, and I've seen people cry, right? For example, anyone who went to the protest recently? How much did you pay to go there?
Nothing.
But are you happy with the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan?
Absolutely yes.
Money? Money? They are happy. It didn't cost anything.
But imagine having nothing in your hand and getting it on the metro or getting in a bus, and then suddenly there is a checking, and then you say, I'm going to the protest.
Metro station is only blocked. Metro stations are blocked. And when flights of metro stations are blocked. See, the idea is when we say money cannot buy happiness, I understand that your stand is that money can buy happiness, but happiness is not binary. First is let's establish that, and you will flip it only.
For all the ladies in the room, do you ever see any person carrying a whole lot of bags and then?
Yes.
Shopping. I have never seen people crying over shopping. On the contrary, people are carrying bags and they are so happy.
No, before that you said yes for what? Like that you like.
No, I've seen people crying even with a lot of money.
Lot of money spent.
A lot of bags. How heavy these bags are.
No, but I think women in the house, do you care about money? Like, do you think if a guy has money, like, he'll be entitled to more? I would suggest be a gold digger, not a gold digger. That is my
Gold digger. G-O-L-D.
कोई well done.
सारे लोग मिलके मेरे अगेंस्ट हो।
अबे तूने फन नहीं बनाया ना, सीरियस नहीं किया। और पैसे से क्या? पैसे से रंग बिरंगे पाए।
You can come here. Please tell them.
Can we have your names?
I'm Priyansh.
Myself Rakesh.
People in general have this habit of procrastination, which I think is a superpower. Because every day in and day out, I'm saving my energy in procrastination because I don't do things. I just, lie there on my bed and keep scrolling and delaying things. So I think that's a great superpower.
That should be procrastination. When you are thinking something, you should be real person and not in actual what you are thinking, and then you have to start taking action. In procrastination, you are just in emotion. You are planning. Okay, I will do this. I will do this, and this. You are just planning. You are doing nothing. You have to come out from there and do some action.
Why should I use my energy in doing this, doing everything? I will just save my energy, lie on my bed and chill. I'll Netflix and chill. Why should I use my energy?
Okay. If you are just doing the chill, maybe you will do for next year or so. Then again you have to take some action. If you want to achieve something in your life, you have to take actions. And you don't have enough money to whole life you can do the chill.
But I have generational wealth. I can just lie on my bed. I had by the age of 25, I built a portfolio of 1 crore by selling my ancestral home, which was of 10 crores. My father is a money. He has 500 to 7,000 crores.
I don't think so.
We are running out of time. Thank you. Thank you.
It was a flawless meeting. Take the statements with a pinch of salt. So now I would like to call upon the stage all the supplementary evaluators, starting with Comedian Toastmaster Anindita.
So language is one of the most powerful tools. Every meeting gives us an opportunity to define things. Every speech today reminded us that communication isn't about using different words, it's about choosing the right ones. Before moving to the grammatical observations, I'd like to appreciate some wonderful use of language that stood out. So I heard some very good vocabulary that was sharpest weapon of a teacher, red pen, surreal, perception, the word of the day was used only once, like many times by Yogesh only, distorted, epiphany, and so on. Apart from that, memorable expressions that I noted down were, because appearance may catch our eyes, but it is our kindness that catches our hearts. And you are the magician behind all the roles you play. How did the world notice me? Because after all these years, I finally saw myself. Life is what happens when you're busy making plans. That criticism was a blessing in disguise. And I noticed just one small grammatical point today, that was, I weared a neatly ironed salwar kameez. It should have been, I wore a neatly ironed salwar kameez. Overall, today's meeting wasn't just rich in ideas, it was rich in language as well. If I had to choose an expression of the day, it would be, if you want to find yourself, lose yourself.
Adding on to what Toastmaster Anandita said, I believe she took up the role at the very last moment, and that's commendable from my perception. And when she told the good usage of grammar, Anandita, you could have told the name of speakers as well, because it's kind of an achievement for a speaker to be called over here. And then I believe you didn't tell us how many times word of the day was used or idiom of the day was used. So maybe you could have added that into the report.
She did.
She did?
Yes.
Was I mentioned?
No, you were not mentioned, but no.
Okay, no worries. So maybe you can add on one or two additional examples by giving out word of the day or idiom of the day. It will be easier for the audience to understand it, and they don't have to Google it to see if they can use it or not. Now, coming to the timer, Toastmaster Tanisha. Big round of applause.
Hello, let's begin my report. So, first speaker is Hema. Time allowed is 4 to 6 and she took 440 seconds. And speaker Harish, time allowed is 5 to 7. He took 4 to 55 minutes. Priya, 5 to 7 minutes is allowed and she took 6 minutes 45 seconds. Yogesh, 5 to 7 minutes is time and you took 8 minutes 5 seconds. Aishwarya, time allowed 5 to 7 and you took 7 minutes 25 seconds. Now comes to table topic. First table topic is Saurabh and he took 1 minute 35 seconds. Guest Neeraj, he took 2 minutes 55 seconds. Bhavya and Siddhant took 2 minutes 44 seconds. Rakesh and Priyansh took 1 minute 52 seconds. And now comes to Timo. Allotted time is 18 minutes and you have took 31 minutes.
Now evaluating Toastmaster Tanisha. So she came up with a detail sheet over here. Clearly stated the timelines. And one suggestion that I would like to give you is that please sit in the center of the room so that you are completely visible to the speaker. Because you were sitting over here, people were standing over here and speaking. Sometimes the gaze does not go over here. So at that time they might miss it. And also while you are keeping up the timer card, try to keep it up for at least 15 seconds so that people do not mess it up. Please keep that in your mind, and otherwise it was all good. So now it's time for the counter Toastmaster Tanisha.
And the second thing is that the one who has never used any filler word, they are called as a perfect articulator. I will start with those. And today we have 4 perfect articulators. TM Hema, TM Harish, TM Priya and TM Anisha. We never had so many perfect articulators in one day, and when we have 5 speakers in a day. So let's start with Yogesh. I felt in the second part of the speech the repeated word was coming but. Other than that, everything was good, no other filler words. So but was coming little more repeated. TM Ashwarya, you have used multiple times so there you should start working on it. T-Mod Bhavesh, multiple times you know and so. GE Satyam, multiple times and so is coming as multiples. TM Tanisha, once and so plus once. Active listener Hemant, one time Grammarian Anidita, is 3 times and 1 filler word so. That's it. And I would like to give 2 or 3 things which we can use in a daily life to reduce this filler words. One is that you should start recording yourself. Listen to your short voice or video clips of your speech to spot your most common filler words and frequency. Second is the period method. Practice saying the word period or pause in your head instead of uttering a filler word. Whenever you start feeling like you are about to utter a word or you forgot something, practice in your head. Okay, I have to pause now. It's not an easy thing. You have to train your brain a lot. Third is the embrace the pause. Recognize that a 1 or 2 second pause, silence sounds thoughtful and authoritative to listeners, whereas a filler word signals hesitation. So these 3 or 4 practices maybe you can use in your day-to-day speech. It will one day give you this effect.
So, to evaluate Toastmaster Tanika, she came here, she spoke like a seasoned Toastmaster. She gave a wonderful introduction, and I like how she put out her report. It was well organized, and she covered all the aspects that fall within the encounter. So, great job. Now, calling upon the stage the last supplementary role player, Toastmaster for active listening.
Hello everyone. Today we had a flurry of speeches, and every other speech was as impressive as others. I would say that personally, the last 3 speeches took me away. Like, it was fantastic. Okay. And I saw everyone was listening carefully. But now it's time to evaluate, and I am here to ask you a few of the questions. I have each set of questions, and we will divide this classroom into 2 parts. So I would say Hema, and Salman. I would say that point would be the. I would say group A, group B. Okay. My first question from group A. After being inspired by Nana, what time did Harish put the alarm for?
5.
Yeah, right. My second question to group B. In which class did Harish fail?
अच्छा सही था पहले सही था.
My second question to group A. Which Steve Jobs quote did Hema use?
You cannot connect the dots in the future, you can connect the dots backwards.
Oh, nice. My second question to group B. Please fill in the blanks. Knowledge creates credibility, but communication.
Blank.
Knowledge creates credibility, but
Yeah,
5 points.
My third question to group A. what was the speech title of TM Priya?
Minus 50.
Which color of the sleeper TM Priya was wearing?
White and blue.
My fourth question to Prabhay. How many followers did Yogesh have?
40,000.
40,000.
I can check that exact.
My fourth question to Prabhay. According to TM Aishwarya Mother, what was the purpose of life?
Helping others. Helping others.
And one more.
No, 0 point. 50. No, 30.
Minus 50 rupees. 50.
No one speaking apart from you.
10 rupiya dega.
Anyone?
50.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I'm educating people.
No.
Pass it on.
50.
भाई दे दिया आंसर मिल गया।
अरे पता था यार, ये रिहर्स करके आया बराबर हो गया।
क्वेश्चन बोलना है क्या फिर से? According to TM Aishwarya Mother, what was the purpose of life? Do you have the half answer?
The purpose, life is not a rat race, it's like a dance. Sorry.
Not your advice.
Thank you.
अरे पास ये पास क्वेश्चन था, it was a past question.
अच्छा वो पास था।
जल्दी बात।
विभीषण।
It's time. Thank you.
Now I will now the overall evaluation of the meeting. Yeah, so the meeting started on time. The pace of the meeting was good. It was smoothly handled by Toastmaster Pavish. And then there was something called a silent evaluation. So for that, I believe the names of evaluators could have been written over here. And also the short introduction of the evaluators could have been done. It would have been better for the speakers because people would have known what pathway they are taking, what is their level of speech and what is the project. So these kind of information would have been able to reach the audience. Now, the location of meeting was also different, so there was slight difficulty in finding the place, but it was managed gracefully. Now, about the energy and engagement, we all saw today the power of reciprocation. When a speaker stands here and he greets everyone with a high energy, there is a reciprocation. If I say good morning, you might not say good morning loud enough, but when I say good morning, people are going to reciprocate. So that's what I've seen over within this meeting, and a lot of speakers have implemented that technique. Now, coming to the gaps and delays, one was the evaluator introduction that I've already mentioned. Second was slight delay in the 5-minute break that we had. It didn't go for 5 minutes, it went for 14-15 minutes. And finally, there was a slight delay due to the extended GTM meeting. So there was some confusion, some questions, which is valid, but yeah, there was slight delay due to it. And coming to the meeting part, so the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Harish, he beautifully started the meeting, set the stage for everyone. Just one recommendation for you would be to learn the mission statement as it is, because I've been in the same shoes last year. I was the Sergeant at Arms. So it takes some time to learn the mission statement, but the mission statement of Toastmaster is very clear. So kindly try to learn it. It will take some time, but you will learn it completely. Now, coming to the President introduced Toastmasters to everyone and then did the guest introduction, which is what was expected. Then comes T-Mod, Toastmaster Bhavish. This topic was You Are Mistaken. It was highly interactive. I saw very high energy throughout the entire room, and it was happening throughout the entire meeting itself. And gracefully communicated the message, and that's what I've said in the break itself.
it was a deep topic that he explained so simply and in a simplified manner that we were able to get it. Now, coming to the table topic, there was a clear introduction of table topic with example, and there was also creativity in execution. Just one thing, Toastmaster Alisha, create a robust rule for your table topic master. So let's say you've created a rule. If someone comes in and says, let's do it a bit differently, maybe we can do it, but up to an extent only. So try to come up with a robust rule and try to follow that. Although the one change within the table topic master rule was quite good today and it worked out well. Now, coming to the overall quality of the meeting, it was highly energetic. The environment was very positive, which is like a regular environment at GTMC. And also the beautifully thought out stories were there, and it was all a great meeting. Now, I'll hand it over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Vishwani. Take a round of applause, please.
Toastmaster Satyam, some very pointed suggestions, and we'll definitely try to incorporate them. Maybe we can have a list of people who joined. First, get people to join after the break, like we have for the start of the meeting. So we are at the top of our time, and one option is that we do MOT in the next session. Another option is that we do it during the lunch. Can we do it during the lunch?
Let's wrap it up in the next 20 minutes, right? Let's do it today and finish it.
Comment of break.
I asked
Lunch
what
period.
is because why is it associated with
Let's do it during the lunch. Let's do it during the lunch. We've already had 15-20 minutes for OT and all.
Is it can it be done during the lunch? I'm asking like.
How is it practice? कैसे करोगे?
नहीं वो photos भी submit होंगे.
It will be difficult. I think it will be difficult.
Let's do it here. Let's wrap it up quickly.
15-20 minutes में wrap कर दो.
Okay, so we'll do the voting form is out.
तो जो categories are divided into groups and give each category to each group.
Okay.
Everyone doesn't have to fill everything. Just number of categories. That
So
will
we'll first wrap up with the voting and the.
वो बाद में कर लेंगे. In the meantime,
But the guests will be stuck here.
हाँ तो vote कर लेते ना खत्म करो.
I will send the
नहीं इसे तो बोल रहा हूँ हर एक को अलग मतलब कैटेगरीज दे दो ग्रुप मतलब जितने कैटेगरी उतने ग्रुप.
So guys, the voting form is rolled out. If the guests don't have access to the guest group, then they can take it from the guest group. So I'll do a quick roll call. For best speaker, we have Toastmaster Hema. Toastmaster Hema, raise your hand. Then we have Toastmaster Harish. Harish, raise your hand. Toastmaster Priya. Toastmaster Yogesh. And Toastmaster Aishwarya. Toastmaster Aishwarya. Then for best auxiliary role players, we have Tanika for our counter. We have Tanisha for timer. For grammarian, we have Toastmaster Anandita. For active listener, we have Hemant. Best table topic master, there is Saurabh. Guest Neeraj. Toastmaster and Toastmaster Bhavya and Siddhant, duo. Then guest Priyansh and guest Rakesh. Rakesh, raise your hand. I'll also quickly vote. GTM Satyam. Okay, so we'll take rest of the guest introductions. So sir, just tell us something about yourself and any feedback for us for the session, for today's session.
Hi everyone, my name is Abhijit Shankar. Friends call me Avi. I've been here for the very first time. I've been to other Toastmasters Club, but I think that the topics that were discussed today were thought-provoking. I have been thinking about these topics for a long time. Read many philosophers. My favorite was Friedrich Nietzsche that I have connected with. I think this first session has made an impact, and I would look forward to becoming a member to this club. Thanks everyone. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Rohit.
I'm a little confused whether I'm Rohit or it's a perception after this session. And definitely it was very engaging. And I've also joined another group as a guest. And it was one of the good experience. The content quality was great. A little suggestion to a group, maybe sometimes we get distracted when we were discussing the MVP or sometimes the usage of the phone. I work with American Express. I have it's been 15 years. I started from taking calls. Today I'm a manager at the MIS. I'm still learning. I was actually looking for a place where I can have an option to present to 200, 300 people. But after coming here, I feel that I still have a scope to improve within 40, 50 people, and I would really look forward to coming.
I'm Major Sunil Chopra. I have served in the Defence Forces Army for about 23, 24 years. And thereafter I've been running an institute in Delhi for educating people to how to join the Defence Forces, UPSC exams and SSB interviews. And I've recently shut that business off about 5-6 months back. And coming here has been because of my daughter. She is in San Francisco and she's president of one of the such societies. And she said that, you know, I've been all the time, you know, it's been one way. I've been teaching. Even in the Defence Forces, I've been teaching weapons, I've been teaching tactics. So it's been a one-way process where I've probably not learned so much. I've always been teaching. And a lot of things get static. Like in an institute, when you're teaching physics, chemistry, or you're teaching, you know, how to take on an interview, it really doesn't change much. So the idea was now to start learning at my age. And I think I'm learning a lot here. And it's interacting with younger people makes me feel younger myself, right? And the reason of being here is to feel young with you and to learn from all of you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sunil Kumar. As of now, I am a central government employee. This is the first time I'm joining Toastmasters. I searched about this group in Google, like what is the best Toastmaster group in NCR. So Google searched this one. This is the first time I'm joining over here. I'm very much naive in the English language. And since the last 20 years, I'm working in Hindi medium as well. So I wanted to resign in this December. I wanted to resign from my central government employee. I wanted to join as a corporate. So I want to build my career. So I want to join. Have I finished any of the guests? So do we have the results, education team? We can give out blank certificates. That's also fine.
was helpful.
आसपास Only member. सब लोग. 4. Any members that side? 5. Tanisha 6. Priya 7. No, not 7. 1. 3. 4. Yogesh 5.
6.
Ishita 7. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Siddharth 6. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 1. 2. Your left now. Your half.
3, 4, 5.
ठीक है, so all the ones.
तेरा नंबर क्या था? 4 मुझे 4 पे लगा सर सही बात ऐसे बांट लेगा इसीलिए वेस्ट कर दिया। अरे जल्दी जल्दी करना भाई, भूख लगी है। एक्सपर्टाइट बर्थडे सेलिब्रेशन भी तो करना है।
So guys, the results are out. Okay, so the winner of best speaker goes to Toastmaster Priya. Best role player, Toastmaster Anita for revenue. Best role player Toastmaster.
फोटो के लिए तो टेबल टॉपिक है।
So table topic, there was a tie among 4 people, Toastmaster Saurabh, Toastmaster Neeraj, Toastmaster Siddhant. But we are not giving out certificates because we don't have certificates that
बजट खत्म हो गया हमारा।
6 में से 4
फोटो तो ले दो।
फोटो ले लो, फोटो। आ जाओ।
तो खतरनाक पहली बार देख रहा हूँ 4 लोगों में ट्राई गैंगस्टर। ये तो बड़े को नहीं होता है पार्टिसिपेट सर्टिफिकेट तो दे दो कोई।
एक सवाल
हाँ, वही